Hey, we're full-time RV'ers, and we wanted to share with you our biggest issue that we had. This is our bedroom slide, so this is actually where we sleep. And as you can see, some speckling on the wood here, we had a leak, and which caused a lot of mold. And the only way we found out was I ended up getting really sick, and we kind of noticed a funny smell, but nothing too crazy. But the reveal here, you can see how bad it is, how bad it truly was, actually. I took these videos initially for insurance purposes, for things to be replaced since we were doing demo on it ourselves and kind of taking it apart. We didn't want to void any warranty because if you have an RV, you know that's how that works. And so now I'm compiling all these videos to show and share our story and what we went through, and for anybody that might have a similar issue or looking into full-time RVing and kind of what to look out for. So we didn't know where our leak was. We noticed a little bit of condensation, but nothing that could create this amount of mold, hence why we didn't really understand what was going on, and it was such a big shock. Come to find out, there was a crack in our seal. Since this is the slide, it was initially broke when we purchased it, which was very unfortunate for us, but lesson learned. So I'm showing the screws here. You can see the top is a little bit rusted, but not any further. I was hoping this would kind of give an indicator on how long the water had been there and if it had been in this state since we purchased it back in August of 2023. So this is the baseboard of the slide. Soaking wet. And on the bottom side too. And right there as well. You can only imagine what's behind this wallpaper. This is the bottom side. Just absolutely covered. All over the slide. Nothing else. It's not coming from the top. We had a little condensation on the top, so we put a bag. And that went away, but apparently not, because there's a shit ton of mold right there. And then this is the back side of the storage, like the underneath of the bed. So because of the state our camper was in, we decided to pack up and head to the nearest repair shop that works on our type of RV and wouldn't void any warranty. We took down our skirting and our doghouse and just started to pack stuff up. December 27th, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's December 27th. Today is Wednesday, 2023. We are packing up from Thompson Falls, Montana. We stayed at the Rimrock RV Park, which was absolutely gorgeous. Good hospitality. Tore down all of our skirting. Got everything packed up. The inside's ready to go. And the outside's ready to go too. We are ready for travel. Going to Kalispell, Montana, which is 2 hours away. Average trip, 4 to 5 hours hauling with the team. So yeah, we're out of here for a little bit. So this news was already so devastating for us. We had just moved to Rimrock in Montana October 1st of 2023, and end of 2023, just right before the holidays. We have to leave again and uproot our family and stay in a hotel for a little bit. Luckily, we found a place that accepts 3 dogs and will keep us for about a month, but you know, we're doing the best. We did the best with what we had and tried to make the best of our situation. Although shitty, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Come along with us and enjoy these views as we take our drive from Thompson Falls to Kalispell while I dive into the backstory of our camper. Okay, so the story begins the night of December 19th, 2023. We were laying in bed watching a movie with the dogs, and I'd noticed the dogs were sneezing and I was getting a headache. Things were just off. If you've ever been around mold, you know, just the vibe isn't there. So Dan decided to check behind the mattress, and lo and behold, you saw what we found, which that footage was the 20th in the afternoon. So we decided to condemn our bedroom that night, put all of our sheets, blankets, and pillows together, and made a little bed on the floor in our kitchen in front of the fireplace. So through the 20th through the 27th, we slept on the floor in our camper, which wasn't that bad, but I don't want to do it again. So we got to spend Christmas a little bit more cozy than anticipated, honestly. But we do what we can with what we got. So we had a couple phone calls to make. Our first call was to a shop to see who could get us in the soonest and the closest. And our second phone call was to our insurance, because this is our house. You know, what do we do for the time being? Where do we go? And what options do we have? The integrity of a camper is not built to live in it full-time, to sustain full-time usage, so careful with your insurance companies. But because we were staying extended period of time in our camper, we needed options. They had said that they needed an exact date and time as to when a leak would start, and advised us that we needed to go to a repair shop. So we were on our way there. We had also called the place we had purchased our RV from, which was AC Nelson in Omaha, Nebraska. They were very helpful and generous, and offered, you know, to help us out substantially if we had lived in the state and if we were willing to bring the camper back to the state. But since we had moved to Montana, you know, just making that drive with a camper was not worth it. They were going to get us in, fix out the slide, just take care of everything for us, and including buying us a new mattress since ours was completely saturated, which was also brand new. We had purchased just for this camper. So if you do not have a mattress protector on your mattress, spend that $200 extra to protect your mattress, because buying a new one just a couple months in sucks. The other thing that we were advised to do was to hold on to our receipts. If we were to buy a new mattress, sheets, pillows, and also our hotel stay, it was recommended that the warranty company reimburse us for that. There's some sort of program to help with that, but we quickly found out that that was not a thing, and we absorbed the cost of actually everything, minus the parts and labor to fix our camper. That was only covered because we still had a 1-year warranty on our brand new camper. You know, when we moved from our house into a camper, we really expected less headaches and were quickly humbled. Living in a camper is no exception, and essentially you're just trading one mess for another mess. And while that being said, we are still grateful that we chose the camper life just because it's simpler. As you can see from this footage here that I filmed going into Kalispell, we essentially lived in the mountains. So moving back to the city for a little bit, I was not looking forward to this. I do not like a whole bunch of people and the noise and the chaos, and not to mention living in a hotel. Your kitchen, living room, dining room, bathroom, you've seen those Airbnb commercials, is all in one room. And it just kind of started to feel like a prison after a while, but we made the best of it, which you'll see here coming up.
We made it. Tally ho.
Like, what the fuck? You hear that? Nothing.
Okay, to wrap up this camper story here, our camper was in the shop for about 2 months. We had a 1-month hotel stay and actually returned back to Nebraska to visit some family and had a little road trip. So our camper, while we were waiting for parts in the shop, we had a list of other things for them to work on, which was successfully completed. And I'm so happy we did because we didn't want to have to take it back to the shop later on. The shop initially wanted to spray down our slide with some kills and to just, eliminate the mold. I had already done this prior to us leaving since we had to stay in there an extra week and tried to, dilute the mold and just get rid of it, right? So I had already told them that I had done this, and they had attempted as well. They called us back in and told us it was ready to go. I had looked at it, and you could still see mold stains on the top of the plywood. I had asked if we could just switch out the plywood because that was our bed. We're going to have to stay there for an extended period of time. And I didn't want the bed to break. So they said that they needed the okay from insurance, and this had extended the camper stay in the shop. The insurance had okayed it and went ahead and replaced the wood. So, the shop just went down the road to a lumber yard, got some plywood and the additional pieces that they needed and installed it for us. The issue that we had with this was that the repair shop had said it was user error initially with the leak, and that there were pine needles in our slide. So be sure and clean out your slide and your seals if you ever need work, because we got to pay a $200 fine for a mechanic having to clean out a couple pine needles. So that was quite fun for us. And of course, this discovery was prior to finding that there was a crack in the seal, which was covered by warranty. So all was well, minus that $200 fine for some pine needles. So I wanted a slushie. So we go to the gas station to look for a slushie, and it looks like they're open. Okay, the lights are on, and the lights are on, the windows are tinted. Look, if you listen, the alarm's going off because the doors were locked, and I went inside because I wanted a slushie. So I'm like, hello, and then it's like, alarm. Now we were waiting for the police. I just want a slushie.